The Sony Xperia 1 is a great phone for sure. However, it comes at a pretty high price. It is most likely going to be no less than $1,000. So is it worth it? Is it worth it giving $1,000 for that particular phone? Well, to answer that question, first we need to analyze what you're giving your money for when you're buying this phone. And do you want to be giving your money for that, or would you like to give it for something else? So this video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part is what you are giving your money for when you're buying this phone, and the second part is what you're not giving your money for when you're purchasing it. So let's get started. First, this phone has a high resolution, cinematic, vibrant color display with excellent color accuracy and overall one of the best phone screens on the market. This phone also has one of the greatest cameras on the market, and this is because Sony is a camera manufacturer after all, and they have managed to sort of port a lot of their camera technology into their mobile phones, and also the camera software has been updated so you can tweak a lot of stuff more than your normal phone. And in my opinion that's great, because most modern phones just edit the photo without even letting you know that they are editing it. And Sony typically hasn't been doing that, but still produces great photos, and you can then edit them yourself and they would outclass any other phone. Another key feature of this phone is performance. It is using the latest Snapdragon chip with 6 gigs of RAM, Sony's user interface, which is one of the fastest overall, and it is really smooth. I like it a lot. So in terms of performance, you're certainly getting it. Of course, a portion of the money that you give also goes for the brand. Sony is not the largest mobile phone manufacturer, but they are a big brand name overall, so you're paying for that also. Now onto the things that you do not get when buying this phone. First, you do not get innovative design, and this is very important, because for some people when they buy a new phone, the first thing they look for, oh well, does it look any different? Because if it doesn't, why would it be any different? Now don't get me wrong, if you think that trying to go bezel-less or put the fingerprint sensor under the display or being able to charge other phones with your phone, if you consider these things being a gimmick, then this would be absolutely no valid point to discourage you for buying the phone. But if you're one of the people who consider this as important and innovative features, then the Xperia 1 might not be for you. Another big omission on this phone is the headphone jack, although you do get a dongle in the box as far as I know, so it's not that big of a deal, but still, no headphone jack on this phone. Also, another major con is that if you're into standard 16:9 content, it's not going to look particularly good on this phone. You're either going to have those huge black bars on the sides, or if you zoom in, you're going to lose on resolution, because as we said earlier, yes, the display is awesome, but if you're viewing HD ready content on it, you aren't really benefiting from that screen. As a conclusion, if you're after a flagship phone with a great camera and a wonderful screen, and you don't mind the 21:9 aspect ratio or even prefer it, then the Xperia 1 is worth it. Otherwise, if you insist on stuff like no bezels, innovation with the fingerprint sensor unlocks, or stuff like that, then you might want to consider a different phone. Thanks for watching, and I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and yeah, bye bye.